Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Haha. Cameras work. This is always the terrifying part for me. Starting something new and not knowing what I'm doing. Hello. I don't know if people are out there, but if you are, hi. This is going to be a test and we'll see how it goes. I don't really know what I'm doing, but we're going to see how it works. I'm just going to chat and maybe put some music on and sew some quilt blocks because I need to get this pattern done before end of the month so that I can get it into a show. Hello, John. How are you? People. Well, hello, Stephen. Welcome, welcome. You are my first chatters. It feels so lovely. So, as I was saying, I mean, this is mainly just going to be kind of chaos until I figure out what to do. Oh, wow, I need to fix that layout. Oh boy. That's not great. That's not a great layout. We're going to fix that some other time and we're just going to go to this view. Yeah, let's go to that view and save me the trouble of looking at that chat frame. That's fine. That's fine. Stay as long as you need. I don't know how long we're going to be running today. It's, as I said, it's very much a throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. But yeah, for those curious, especially Stephen, we're working on more moth blocks because, oh boy, I've only got 4 rows left. And she needs to get done. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I was sitting here about 45 minutes ago still fiddling with things, and then it hit 7 o'clock and I hit start stream and I got a big red message that said cannot find the stream, and I went, oh no. So we had some last second finagling of I need to get a new stream key and I need to figure out where it goes and I need to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So yeah, that was the last 5 minutes. But yeah, I figured this is just going to be one of those chit-chatty type of things. If you guys are interested in specific items or questions, throw them in chat. I had ideas for like using the long arm, but that would require looking at investing in like 50-foot run of USB cables to get my cameras set up properly. So that's not going to happen right away. And yeah, just different stuff. I figure it's a nice place to chat. And just do some creative stuff. I really need to, I'm gonna make a note actually to fix that chat screen. Where is, and I've lost my pencil. God damn it. Everything's going to shit already. It's fine. It's fine. Flames in the background. Well, I said it was chaos stream. Yeah, no, it's not for everybody. I can completely understand the watching and the not being able to afford one. I'm just gonna move that mouse out of there. Yeah, right there. That's fine. It's not a price tag a lot of people want to assume. It's a definite investment, but for me it was that or just not quilt my own quilts, because being hunched over like this for a week at a time, not super great. But it's okay. I'm wearing my cool shirt. There you go. Now you can see it. I hope you could hear that. I don't really know how to work with this microphone just yet. So yeah, if you guys are interested, I can show you one of the blocks that I'm working on, actually. Yeah, awesome. You do spot a haunted cabin. It's very hidden. Hold on. This may go badly. Give me a second. There we go. Now you can see it better. I don't think I ever showed you how I quilted it. It's got a funny, cute little like Halloween scene on it in like yellow, and actually now that I think about it, it's kind of like candy corn colored thread. It's orange, white, and yellow. Wow. But yeah, I set all this stuff up, and I've even got like a weird PTV camera that can shift. That's not a view that I'm really going to be using anytime soon because camera arm. But this one seems useful. I'm going to have to adjust it slightly so you don't get a huge view of my crotch. Nope, by the way. Yeah, there you go. And then we will update that. That's that. Save. Yeah. Alrighty. So that way you can see this. Or my face. I figure we'll do the face for a while and then do other things as needed. Exactly. It is not that type of stream. That is for a different platform that I do not have accounts on. And I don't think I will. Not many people would watch. But yeah, so I hope you all have projects because I'm just going to get going on mine. If you have questions about what I'm doing, that's fine. This is a pixel quilt. I don't know if any of you have done any type of pixel quilts before. I'm trying to think back on either of your profiles, and I don't remember seeing any. I mean, John does traditional stuff, but like there are no half square triangles in this at all. So different. Best Illustrator file. Yeah, that's how some of them work. I'm more of an Excel and color it in there and then bang my head up against a wall in EQ8 for about 6 months, making each and every individual block and then getting the counts and then being like, oh no, I did design it. Yes. Nope, that's a MasterCard bill. We don't want that. On the floor with you. Ta-da! It started out as a cross-stitch pattern and then exploded. And by exploded, I mean I needed to make it 110 inches square to make everything fit. And so now I'm making one for myself because I don't want to force pattern testing on anyone with that. So I've come to realize that I think my counts were a little off on certain fabrics because this one, oh boy, I'm glad I bought extra fabric. But yeah, I've got a couple of those in the makes, and hopefully they're not as crazy as this one is. I mean, they're not going to be because they're not 110 inches square, but it was, like I said, it's the only way I could get it to like fit nicely and not have to cut half-inch squares to sew absolutely nothing together. So yeah, that's where that went. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Chaos. This is what I'm doing. Okay. Yep. I can only imagine the trials and tribulations of trying to design all those patterns every single year, especially multiple patterns on multiple releases every single year. It's kind of like Tula. I don't know how she pumps out that many fabrics every single year. Just how? It seems inhuman to me. But I'm also working a full-time job at the same time as doing this, so. Why won't you fold properly? I don't want to burn myself. Okay, you will press there. So how's everybody been? Yeah, that would be true. Okay. If it's all you think about, then yeah, that would be a pretty easy way to get a lot of stuff done. I think the anxiety in my brain would kind of stop that too much. But who knows? Okay, yes. It's like, why did I do things wrong? But I didn't do things wrong. I just changed the orientation of things. I generally don't talk this much when I'm piecing. Ooh, new ones. I'd raise my hand to be a sample maker, but at the same time, I'm like, do I have the time? Oh, I think I know who that person is. Are you back from Quilt Canada already? When was Quilt Canada? Was it last week or a couple weeks ago? What is time? Who knows? Yep, that name makes complete sense. Jordan, you can't hide behind an acronym. Also, thanks for showing up. Much appreciated. Welcome to the Chaos stream. I haven't done anything much, so we'll see how that goes. 3 weeks, Jesus. Yeah, time flies when you're sitting at a desk wishing you could kill someone. Sorry, that was mean. I shouldn't say that about my job. But at the same time, woof. If I could quilt full time for people, I would. Stop. Yeah. Fancy award winning. Doing all the fancy things. Did you get like a ribbon or a trophy or a... What'd you get? Because that might entice me to actually do stuff. The dopamine boost is a required thing for me. Ooh, fancy. We like ribbons. And they take up less room than trophies. You can kind of just hang them and be like, yeah, done. Now it's on the wall and the wall's fancy. Heck yeah, make a sash. Do like the scouting thing and just like accumulate them. You say like you're in his apartment. Have you ever submitted anything for judging at a show, John? I would think yes, but at the same time, maybe not. Who knows? I mean, you designed the pattern, so I would figure you'd be, like, able to. Sorry, Stephen, I just saw your other comment. I'm glad that this is making you sit down and work on EPP stuff. What? That's crazy. How have you never done that? He says, having submitted a single quilt ever in his lifetime to like a non-fancy quilt show. I mean, you'd have your name behind you. I don't know if that means anything, but I don't know. It's that weird sort of thing of like you hear stories of people being like, oh, I submitted 3 and none of them got in. And you're like, but why? Does Quilt Canada require you to have quilted it yourself? Or do you just need to like list the quilter? Because I'm sure if they just do prizes for like piecing, that's fine. Plus, I'm sure Melissa wouldn't say no to getting recognition for her quilting. Yes. That's fine. You need to list a quilter. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. As a quilter myself, I would be a little miffed if one of my clients submitted something and was like, hey, yeah, I quilted this myself. Wink, wink. And then I went to the show. Oof, that would... I don't know how my filter would do. Be like, hey, can I have a word with you now before bad things are said? Enjoy jazzy music. Thanks for stopping by. It was pleasant. There might be a VOD if I don't get like copyright struck or something. I've heard that's a thing. Who knows? By the way, enjoy music. Okay, I really need to stop flailing my right hand. Gonna make you guys seasick. The music of his hands. Fancy. I don't know if the YouTube analytics are lying to me or if it's just delayed. But I think we have some little lurkers. Hello, lurkers. I appreciate you being here, even if you're not chatting. It's super fun. Welcome, welcome to the chaos stream. I'm just quilting, doing some fun stuff. And people are here, chatting. Which honestly was kind of like the whole point of this, I think. I don't know. Like I said in the beginning, I have no idea what I planned for this. I just spaghetti at wall. Who knows? But yeah, if people want like Q&A style stuff or just, I don't know, ask questions, it helps so that I don't need to feel like I'm talking to the void. I do that enough. Yeah, that's, well, you could if I switched to this view, but I don't think you could read them. So we're not using this view because the chat's a little borked. I need to fix it. And I don't know if I can do that live. So we're just gonna go with, nope, that's the wrong button. This one. Yeah. We're gonna go to that view and we're gonna stay there. Yeah, that was one thing that I had planned for because a lot of people were like, oh yeah, I want to do YouTube. And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. YouTube doesn't pay anything. I mean, right now, neither does Twitch, but who knows? Oh, I scared the lurker. They're gone. Instead of a permanent live stream recording studio. Ooh, yes, I went down many a rabbit hole. So I can help with regurgitating information. My setup is probably severely overkill for what I'm doing, but that's me. Why do 1, 2, 3 when you can hard set to 10? I really need to stop hitting the second camera, Jesus. But yeah, whenever. I am open to a chit chat. Correct, yeah. They were in the wrong chat, even though it clearly says just chatting. But yeah, the main thing that I've that was like droned into my head was sound over video, always and foremost. So if you're going to change anything about your setup, make sure that you have a very decent audio setup. As I said, mine is complete overkill. And so like the mic itself isn't crazy. It's like a $40 iCan mic. But what it's hooked up to is a little bit much for what I need, but I figured, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. So invest. But yeah, and especially with you, like you're doing the circle stuff. Is that kind of like Zoom, or does it use Zoom? I'm not too sure like how you would set that up, but either way, we can chat, and I don't need to do that right now. Yeah, because from what I was reading and getting the information from, it's very much a case of like most audios, like most streams will kick the audio in a couple seconds before the video somehow. I don't know, maybe. And so that's like a person's first reaction or interaction with a stream. So if the audio's butt, then, you know, it is much like Zoom. They have their own built-in streaming application. Okay. See, I was thinking about that as well, but I didn't know the logistics behind it. So I figured, I know Twitch, I know YouTube. I used to moderate for one of my friends doing her live streams. So let's just go there and not sweat the small stuff. Oh, speaking of, that was another thing that I had been looking into, was like having guests and doing stuff. One of my friends, Tracy, a fellow long armor in Toronto, she had wanted to look into kind of like teach it. Yeah, that's what I figured as well. Twitch and YouTube are free. So I was not going to say no. But yeah, she had been like wanting to learn FPP. And so if there's stuff like that people want to learn, I would be more than happy to do it on these types of streams. Yeah, this is the big one. So, and like, yeah, I know I shouldn't give everything away for free, but you got to start somewhere. So, also, I mean, let's face it, I'm not looking to make money off of this. It's more of a build community, get my name out there, see what happens. And if we make money off of it, all the better. But yes, not the main purpose. Because yeah, Circles seems like kind of like a web hosting, I imagine, kind of like another website for you guys, or it's fun. This reminds me of, yeah, it's a virtual community hosting site. Okay, yeah. That's what I assumed, and I figured as the host, the bill falls on you. Also, sorry for like essentially disappearing from the so along. Just haven't done that yet. Okay. Life just kind of got crazy, and I did not have the brain space for Wendy or Michael. Oh, see, that seems smart. I also had to migrate my website away from other sites. Have a good evening, Steven. I'll post some pictures, maybe. I could probably nix Twitch by now, but Twitch is the main one, so if I nix it, it kills the YouTube. So we'll stay live on both and just grin and bear it. You've done FPP stuff before, John, right? I'm trying to remember back on like different patterns. Oh, yay. Everything's lining up. I do so like it when shit turns out. Ow, hot. Very little in patterns. Okay, yeah. It's a barrier for a lot of people. I remember doing just a really small how-to. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I remember the little points. Very doable, but again, for some odd reason my brain loves FPP. Makes all the good chemicals. I don't know. It's very weird. But yeah, I remember doing it one time for like a presentation. Yeah. Where was I going? Train of thought. Derailed. Yes, I was doing a small little presentation for the Montreal Modern Guild before it closed for FPP, and the one thing that a lot of people kept coming back to was, but when you flip it over, it all goes backwards. And you're like, yes, but you need to run into like the thought of it being like, I'm sewing this backwards. I need to sew it backwards. Why? It doesn't need to make sense. Exactly. And I find the divisive part is mainly with that whole flipping. The second people go and take the fabric sandwich and flip it upside down so that you see the pattern, their brain just like disconnects and they go, but I don't understand anymore. And you're like, just shove it under the needle and go. Pattern instructions. 3. Is it one of the what are they? I have an entire drawer of FPP. Don't even get me started. Oh no, I need one of these. What are they? The huge like floral medallion ones that are super crazy beautiful, but also heckin' complex. I'm blanking on the name. What is it? Christ. Come on, brain. God, I got an email about it this morning. Either way, I'll figure about it. Oh, yeah. That one's good, but I find, especially her stuff, you need a very precise like color palette. I would just throw it out the window and go chaos, and then you wouldn't be able to see anything. But yeah, the Joan of Arc is on my to-do as well. I don't think I have it purchased yet, but it's up there. 3. Sorry, I'm mumbling to myself. I'm trying to read my pattern from half an arm's length away. But yeah, John, if you could take a class about anything quilting related, what would it be? Because that will give me ideas. I'm outsourcing. Yes, Judy Niemeyer. Thank you. Christ. another one who pumps out like an obscene amount of quilts per year. And yes, I know she probably doesn't make all of them, but she's got her name stamped on them, so it's got to go through her at least one point. Turned edge applique. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's just a lot of handwork. So if you're fine with a lot of handwork, but doable as a teaching thing. I equate a lot of stuff to garment, and so that's just like one of my first meetings with the guild back in 2017 was like they were doing a demo on turned edge, and my brain just could not understand it. And then I looked at one of the other members, and she was like flying through them, just like, "Oh, you're just hemming. Okay, this makes complete sense. Done." But yeah, it looks, it's kind of like FPP. It looks confusing. Yeah. The eternal curse of need more time. Hand quilting is glorious, but woof, is it a monster for just devouring the clock. What I've seen a lot of people do, I'm going to assume you've heard of Shannon Fraser, but maybe not. She's a Montreal designer. And she does a lot of like multi-quilting, I guess you could say. Like she'll quilt it regular quilting with a machine, and then she'll go back and do like big stitching by hand. So it gets kind of like two-dimensionality depending on what she's doing. It's quite fun. You can use like just hand stitching as different like visual eye grabbers. Stop hitting the camera. Okay, kind of need to figure out a different setup for this second camera because I feel like I'm giving you vertigo. Yes. Susie Quilt's another big name. One of like the first that I heard when I first got into quilting. Actually, even before Tula, surprisingly. But the modern guild ladies were very, very diehard Susie Quilt fans. Used to. Does it like go away, or because I've got one of my customers and I think she has vertigo. It may not be vertigo, but she has like dizziness spells, I guess. Huzzah, they kind of fit. I used to even take medication, but it went away. Oh, well, added bonus for growing up. All I got was insomnia and trauma-induced anxiety. Yay! But I digress. Also, there's probably a hefty dose. I get like 1 or 2 days a year where I still wake up feeling rotisserie chicken. Ooh, that doesn't sound pleasant. It's almost like my insomnia days where I'm like, yay, a good night. I got 2 hours of sleep. Sweet. And then I'll crash for like 4 days after that. Looking for 4x5. 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Curse you for coming undone. What am I looking for? 4x5. It's 4. This is sweet. It's actually one of the quickest blocks I've made. It's amazing what happens when you're not paying attention. Or rather, just paying attention enough, I guess. My piecing machine, I have a Juki TL2010Q. So she's a semi-industrial, but like fully metal. And I adore. She's so lovely. I don't know if you can see her. You've got like a regular, he says, Bernina, I think, if memory serves. Just as an FYI, it only does a straight stitch. So great for piecing and quilting, but not so great if you want to do other fancy things like Adam and make bags and stuff. Jukis are amazing. Brother has like a comparable machine that's semi-industrial. It like Juki, Janome, Brother, Singer. I do believe Baby Lock has one. They're all like similar body shape type thing, and they'll just differentiate on the like things that they include. I just went with Juki because they were full. Yeah. Like Jukis are a full industrial, like that's where they come from, and they take all of their know-how from the industrial machines and they just plop them into a domestic body. I believe they have like more domestic versions that do zigzags and stuff, if that's what you're interested in. If you just need a straight stitcher, go with the 2010. It's super good. Huzzah! A block. Throw it together on the others. He's also got a Unique, I think. I've been seeing a lot of his quilting stuff lately on Instagram. But also, yeah, if he's doing a lot of industrials, if he's doing a lot of bags, the industrial probably is a godsend just for piercing capacity. This one has like the power, but they use a domestic needle size. So the needles themselves will probably like explode first. That's why I've got, actually you can't see them. I've got my fully industrial over there. For when I want to sew the big stuff. But mostly for quilting. Giselle goes just fine. Also, yes, I name all of my machines. Ooh. The hell? Oh boy. Yeah. Well, that isn't so straight. I'm generally not an unpicker, just because who's got the time, but that's really off. Yeah. I also used to be like a unpick every single stitch type of person. And then I took a class and I can't for the life of me remember who it was, but the teacher was just like, yeah, if you're piecing with like 50 weight thread, you don't need to unpick every single stitch. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, just unpick every fifth and pull. And I was like, oh my God. Saved so much time. My efficiency brain made all the good chemicals. So fun. And then you get one long string. Correct. All right, let's try this again. Put her on the right side. Because I've done that before. Of taking my rows and taking the block and then rotating it once but not realizing until it's stitched on. You just get angry at yourself. But also, no time for pinning. No time for pinning. Pinning is for garments. And even then. What I will say for your new machine investments, a prerequisite that I thought wouldn't be a prerequisite for me, but now that I have one, I don't think I could ever go without, is a knee lift for the presser foot. Oh boy. Bogs my mind how people use the scalpel. Those are scary. Those are scary, and I don't trust myself. So I just use a seam ripper. No, don't veer off course again. There we go. Awesome. Really? So you're a lift the presser foot every single time by hand? That's, I don't know. I guess you get like ideas of how people sew in your head. You're just like, nah, I always pictured you as like a steamroller. Yeah, that's one of the reasons for this. Oh jeez, I've got twisted seams everywhere. Amazing what happens. You've got the project iron, right? Does yours have the stupid little light on it? I find it such a thing that they just threw on for the fuck of it. Ah. Do you like the light? Because I don't know. I always like I looked at it at the in the box and I was just like, oh, okay, great, another thing that's most likely going to be the first to break and isn't covered by the warranty. Yeah, I think they called mine olive, or maybe it's avocado. I don't know. It's the green one. It was in stock, and I needed an iron, so I just went, thank you. Alrighty, block 4. Well, and that was my other point is like, nope, wrong. There we go. This way. Like, it doesn't really light anything up. So unless you're stitching in like complete darkness. Oh no. Yeah, my last one, it's still kind of alive, but I don't know. It was really inexpensive and didn't have an on-off button. That's the one thing. The reason I bought this is for the friggin' on-off button, because I am notorious for leaving irons on. Also, breaking one must suck at the price they sell. Just gonna say it. I will give them, they do heat nicely and they do stay hot pretty well. I didn't have any major issues with my last one, besides the fact that it would just stay on if I didn't unplug it. But they're decently good. I don't know. For me, it was just hearing that like they didn't warranty the lift mechanism on the bigger ones. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just what I heard, but yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to like risk that. It's myself. I don't need the large Tula one. I mean, do you really? How many irons do you have, John? That should be their first question. Correct answer. And how many of them are full size? Because if you've only got like the one full size and it's at the shop, then, well, yeah, you kind of need one at home too, unless you want to lug that thing back and forth everywhere. Which is not really what they're made for. That's what the project iron is for. Oh, 3 large ones. Okay. Well, see, there you go. You've only got 2 large ones. So you could get one just in case. Maybe. I don't know. You're talking to the person who has, like, uses the one that they have until it implodes. Which almost happened. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Yes, this. Oh boy, the brain. The brain, she is not braining today. 2. Boop. Hey, wow, it's already been an hour. The now at the office has the old sole plate. What is the difference between the 2 sole plates? If you don't mind my asking. Excuse me. That's a 6x3. You're not 3 inches at all. Oh, you are. Sweet. Most dames are pretty good at judging distance with stuff. Some days, not so much. The old one was slick with no texture. The new one has a slight texture to it. Ah, okay. Do you find that like the project irons cause a bit of like static when you press? Because sometimes I'll like iron something and like half of my pieces will come away on the sole plate. But what if I want to feed the fish? Also, why would it... I'm very confused as to why it would say that, unless there's like... Was it for her underwater collection? Was it Zuma or something? I think I have some of that fabric somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it's just like my little pressing surface. It's like cheap muslin, so it might be generating its own static. Who knows? Or it might be me. After the Besties collection. Okay, yeah. I like the Besties just because of the orange hamsters. But some of those faces, oof. Yeah, that probably saves you a heck of a lot of headache. I've got my pen for really thick like seams, but ain't no one got time for that, except you apparently. I really should though, because yeah, that probably saves a whole bunch of headaches. Goldfish. I seem to remember the goldfish. I thought them cute. But on a scale of 1 to hamsters, I mean, the hamsters were spot on. Like Frank's Red Hot. Says the like whitest white boy who ever white boyed. 'Cause woof, my heat tolerance is like non-existent. And people chuckle and they're always like, oh no. 1 to hamsters. Yes. On a scale of 1 to hamsters. They were a 2. I apparently did not look at this collection enough because I do not remember Dalmatians at all. Is it? Do the pink besties. No, that's Nightshade. I don't want Nightshade. There we go. Dog print cameos. Oh, yep. Yep, I just saw it in the vibrant pink. Do agree the Dalmatian is the best one. of the dogs. That poodle, woof. Woof. We're going class act. Horses in the upcoming legendary. I still fear. I still fear a comeback of the unicorn face from, I think it was Pinkerville, but like the original release. I don't know, like something about horse faces. Horses should not have human eyes. And that unicorn was just disturbing. That was mean. I said it. I'm sorry. Well, yes, but you're slightly biased on that point. How are the boys, by the way? Excellent. And they're just regular Dachshunds. They're not like long-haired or anything. I don't think I've ever gotten like a good view of them for some reason. On your lives anyway. Oh, the Dachshunds. We're just regular minis. Okay. We're looking into potential new puppers. And Dachshunds are high-ish on the list, but I wonder if like they'd get along with a very scared cat. Who is very aptly named, if I do say so myself. Okay, so wire-haired are like short but standy-uppy, and I guess long-haired is long-haired. That doesn't bode well. Especially for my cat Thor, Lord of Thunder, scared of his own shadow. He's been doing better since we moved, I think. I think it was the whole coming into a house with pre-existing pet smells. He probably didn't think like he had a lot of space. I swear it all looked like old men. A potential option. Thank you much. Shall look into it. I'm always more partial to like the little mutts in the shelters, and you're just like, oh, you're so ugly. I love you. Why did your face do that? Unfortunately, with a lot of shelters, a lot of fostering a longhead right now, so it's so small. Yeah, I would imagine they start tiny and don't get much bigger. That's so teeny. Like, my cat is 6 times that weight. Okay, that's a bit better. I was gonna say a 3-pound Dachshund is like minuscule. That's like teacup sized. But yes, as a puppy, I would imagine they were tiny. But 16 pounds seems good. There's an entire month that. Oh, the grew his nose. Oh. Where most larger breed dogs have just growth spurts in legs, his growth spurt was nose. Amazing. I love when they're young and you can do just basically anything. And they're just like, okay, I do this now. Unlike some cats who are always just like, no, touch me and die. But I love cats and dogs and parrots. Well, maybe not parrots. I've yet to meet a parrot that didn't want to eat me for some reason. Warmth and proximity to Papa. Alrighty. Block number 2 done. It is 8:20. So I think, as fun as this has been, I'll let you go. This was very fun and not as terrifying as I thought it would be. And hopefully I get up the courage and do it again next week. It was nice chatting. That's the fun part. I feel like, especially since there are actively no guilds around me anymore, I miss the sew-alongs and the sew-ins. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. But yeah, it was nice chatting. So let's see how I go about ending a stream now. Can I just end them? No, exactly. I need to do it at least a couple more times to make it worth it. Especially now that I finally dialed in the mic settings so that I'm not like having to yell overly crazy. It's amazing what happens when you just plug in a different mic sounding. But yes, see you next time. Thank you for joining me. How do I do this? There is no stream ending thing. So we're just going to do